You don't gotta go home, but you can't stay here. And no, I don't wanna be alone.
Hi, welcome to Swift Scents. I'm Debbie. A while back, I had purchased a couple of knockoff fragrances that I found in Gabe's, and I wanted to compare those to the original fragrances that they were supposed to be representing. And some of them are high-end fragrances, and then some of them are just what I would consider lower-end fragrances for celebrities. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I have about 4 or 5 originals and then their clones. So let's go ahead and get started. The first one is, the original fragrance is Britney Spears Island Fantasy, and you can purchase this online for about $20. I do like the bottle. It looks like a little Christmas ball. It has a little silver embellishment there with some rhinestones. It's kind of green looking with a little bit of blue tinge towards the bottom. Let's go ahead and give that a little spritz here. Now this is supposed to be an eau de toilette, so it's not going to last as long. Okay. This is very fruity, floral. Has a nice smell, but even just sitting here, it's already kind of really drying off on my little strip here. I mean, it is a little bit of a beachy scent, so it is nice. I'll set that there. Okay, so this is Britney Spears' Island Fantasy. Again, around $20. The representation that I found, this is an EDP, Eau de Parfum, and this is called Mysterious Beach. It is similar. You can see the difference in size. This is the Britney Spears original version. It's a green bottle with blue towards the base. Theirs is and then hers has the rhinestones. The imitation is blue with green towards the base. It's solid, whereas this is kind of clear looking. It's a smaller bottle, so you're not getting as much. Instead of the silver embellishment that the Britney Spears version has, it's all blue. And this is called Mysterious Beach. I picked this up for $4 in Gabe's. So let me give this a spritz and compare the scent. Again, this is an eau de parfum. It should last a little bit longer than the eau de toilette from Britney Spears. This definitely has a lot more fruity floral fragrance to it. It's more intense. Very sweet. It's called Mysterious Beach. Hers is called Island Fantasy. Not really getting a beachy scent from it. To me, it's more of a floral, fruity. Let me just compare the two. So on my left, I have the Britney Spears version. On my right, I have it's by Mirage Brands, the imitation. So this one's starting to get more powdery and very faint. The Mirage Brands, the Mysterious Beach, is still very fruity and floral, very intense. To me, the scents aren't even close in resemblance. Again, this is more, the Britney Spears is more powdery, more floral, whereas the Mirage Brands Mysterious Beach is more fruity. So as far as comparisons, I'm going to say they're not the same. But for $4, it is a nice fragrance that you can get. I got that at Gabe's. The next one I'm going to talk to you about, I actually have a couple different samples. So this bottle is Jadot Eau de Parfum. And I also have Jadot Absolu. And you can tell there's a difference in the fragrances or in the color. Just the Eau de Parfum is clear. The Absolu, which is more intense, it has a lot more of the jasmine and things that are in here. It has more of a yellowish color to it. They do both smell similar, so let me go ahead we'll start with these originals because the clone that I have is supposed to be a representation. It's supposed to be a representation of the Absolute, but both of them are very similar in sense. So I do like this fragrance. It doesn't last very long on my skin, even though it is an Eau de Parfum. Neither one of them, the Absolute or the Eau de Parfum, last very long on my skin. I'm going to say maybe 5 hours. Okay, that's very sweet, floral. Definitely has some jasmine in there. This is the Absolute. When I spritzed this on here, it actually, the card turned a little bit yellowish, so we might want to be careful with your clothing on that one. Okay, definitely much more intense. I'm getting a lot more of that floral note in there, some magnolia, very sweet. Okay. Now, so that's the Jadot. Then you can get this for, this size runs about $60. This is maybe 1 ounce. Then the Jadot Absolute, I picked this up recently at Macy's. It cost me $135 for basically, that's a 3.4 ounce bottle. Okay. So that's the Jadot Absolute. Now the sample that I picked up in Gabe's, they call theirs Just Love Intense. And I got this for $4. It does look similar to the bottle. It does have that same sort of gold spiral that this has, only this has the little clear bulb on top, whereas that one does not. Even it has a similar characteristic curve to the bottle. This one is a little bit more, I'll say, faceted, whereas this is just a smooth bulbous type bottle. Oh, let's go ahead and give this a spray. Again, this is supposed to be the clone of the Jadot Absolute. This is an Eau de Parfum, so it should be more intense. To me, this is more citrusy, not anywhere near as intense as the Jadot Absolute. And let's just see how that compares to the first one. So the first one I had, just Jadot. Again, fruity floral. This is the Just Love Intense, the clone. This is becoming more powdery to me. Well, let's see the Absolute. No, still very, the Absolute is just a more intense, sweet floral with the jasmine and the fruity notes in there. Just Love Intense, it's not even, it doesn't even compare, in my opinion, to, doesn't smell anything like that. This is a more powdery scent, more of a woody scent. Let's see, I actually found, on their site it just says it's supposed to be a fruity floral, but to me it does not smell like the Jadot Absolute or just the regular Jadot. Now, this does not purport itself to be a clone, but I found this in a store and I found this to be similar in scent to the Jadot. This is actually Amaze Express Eau de Parfum by Express, the clothing store. And when I smelled this in the store, I immediately thought of Jadot. And even though, again, this does not purport itself to be a clone or representation of Jadot, I thought it was very similar. So I wanted to add that to my little comparison. I mean, the bottle isn't, other than having this little bulb on the top, like the Jadot brand does. It has a little, by Dior, it does have a little bulb on the top. And it's, you know, in gold. It's a pretty bottle. It doesn't really represent what the Dior version has. But let me go ahead and give this a little spritz. That's very nice. Definitely get those floral undertones. Just at first sniff, it does remind me of the Jadot by Dior. So let's just do a comparison. Actually, this is the just regular Jadot. Again, this is very, very floral. It's got, you know, the gardenias, the magnolia, the jasmine. The Amaze Express is slightly more woody to me. But it does have some of those same notes in there. It does have, you know, jasmine and that in there. Okay, so similar to regular Jadot, this is the Absolute. Again, the Absolute is just so much more intense. Not close. Let's just see how it rates to the clone. It doesn't represent the clone either. When I first smelled it, I guess because it does have the jasmine and some of the other florals that the Dior version, the Jadot, has, to me it was very similar. But as I smell them here together, they're not the same. All right. Now, the last one that I have is a designer brand, and this is by Calvin Klein. The original version is Endless Euphoria by Calvin Klein. Now, this is going to run you, this is an eau de toilette. This is going to run you around $80 to $105 retail in the store. I actually did get this in the Rack store for, I want to say, $30. Being that this is an eau de toilette, it doesn't last as long on your skin. I actually have given this a wear test. I got maybe 4 hours out of it. This is floral, more fruity. Honestly, to me, it kind of smells like a tea bag when you take it out of the hot water, but still floral and a little bit fruity. The clone of that I found, and again, I got this for $4 at Gabe's. This is called Eternal Ecstasy. I was not able to find anywhere online what the notes are supposed to be in this. But it does say that it is Eternal Ecstasy. It does say that this is a clone of Calvin Klein Endless Euphoria. So let's give this a smell test. Again, this is an eau de parfum. Should be more long wearing. And I think they do that to try to, they're trying to boost the notes in there so that they can come close to the originals, I think. To me, it smells like jasmine in there. A little bit fruity, but more towards the floral side. So this is the clone. This is the original. To me, the clone is more fruity, but out of the ones that I've compared here so far, I'm going to say that that one actually does come closest to what the smell of the original one is. Yeah, actually, I think that one is pretty similar. So if you are a fan of Calvin Klein Endless Euphoria, you can find this in the Rack stores for around $30, or you can pay full retail in Macy's or Nordstrom's in that. Like, again, that's going to be $80 to $105, or you can go to Gabe's if you have one in your area and pay $4 and get this little beauty. They're about the same quantity bottle. Okay, so the breakdown. Britney Spears Island Fantasy, around 20 bucks, eau de toilette. Mysterious Beach, $4, eau de parfum. They do not smell the same. They are both pretty, but for my money, I don't know. I mean, at least the eau de parfum is going to last longer, even though it doesn't smell the same. I still think they're both very nice fragrances. For the Jadot and the ones that I think are similar to that, okay, so again, the Jadot by Dior, you're going to pay roughly, both of these are eau de parfums. They do last like I say, around 5 hours on my skin, a little longer on my clothing. You're going to pay retail between $60 and $150 for these. They are very nice fragrances. I get a lot of compliments on those. Ones that I think smell similar to that, Amaze by Express and Just Love Intense, $4. I did pay $60 for this at Express. The scents do not even come close to the originals, but you do get the longer wear out of them. Both very nice. For my money though, I want the real thing. I think I would still go ahead with the original versions. I have not seen those in the rack stores anywhere, so I mean, you can get them on discount. Sometimes the stores will run promotions, or they might have their own loyalty programs where you can get those on a discount. That's what I do. Then the last one was the Calvin Klein Endless Euphoria versus Gabe's Mirage Brands and Eternal Ecstasy. $80 to $105, $4. Do not, they actually come very close in smell. EDT, EDP, $4, $80 for the money. If you want a similar scent and you are on a budget, go to Gabe's and pick up Eternal Ecstasy. I actually did also see this available in Kmart online, so you can pick that up there as well. I think it was a little bit more pricey at Kmart, but you can check that out as well. So sometimes the clones do not come close to what the original is. It's a crapshoot, but for $4 you can't really beat it. Go ahead and click your comments and suggestions down there. Make sure you hit the notifications so the next video comes up, you are aware of it. Click that subscribe button. Send me your comments and feedback. I'd love to hear from you, and I'll see you next time on Swift Scents.